Hey, I need your help. People are starting to forget about me. Parents aren't leaving teeth for me to collect. Ancient rules dictate that I can't appear to people. Can you transform into me, take a pick and distribute them far and wide? Tooth Fairy.
Did you know that red wine stains your teeth something chronic? The Tooth Fairy would not be impressed.
Right, so we've got to turn ourselves into a Tooth Fairy, so that will involve teeth? So let's make some teeth out of polymorph plastic. So you just pour the pellets into very hot water, be careful you don't burn your fingers. And when it goes clear and it's soft and pliable, roll it into a long thin sausage, flatten it out and just cut out basic tooth shapes. Once you have these, just round off the edges so they don't look too square and sharp, and you have teeth. When deciding how the Tooth Fairy should look, I couldn't help but draw inspiration from the genius that is Colin Christian. If you've never looked at his work, go check him out. Anyway, so we will need a lot of teeth, as you can see from the reference picture. And so you'd want to make lots of normal looking teeth, so teeth like you would find in your own mouth, and some kind of sharp, more monster looking teeth, because there is a mixture in the Colin Christian reference picture. So yeah, just roll them up and shape them with your fingers. Next up, take a face cast. You can make this flat on a table if you don't have a face cast. Just make sure you put something down to protect your table. And so I took my face cast and I put some cotton wool over the eye first of all, just to protect the eye area, because what I want to do is create a kind of a hollow where my eye will be, so that when I put the piece on, my eye won't be uncomfortable. Right, then taking some good old latex paste, so pour some latex into a bowl and just add flour, tiny bit at a time, mix and keep adding and mixing until you get a nice thick paste. Now here in the UK, when a child loses a tooth, we put it underneath the child's pillow and the Tooth Fairy comes in the night, takes the tooth and replaces it with some money for the child. But I'm aware that this isn't the tradition in every single country, so if you've got a different tradition in your country, comment down below and let us know what it is. Back to the tutorial. So you want to spread the latex paste over the side of the face until you're happy with the shape and the size of your prosthetic piece, and just smooth that with some more latex on either your fingers or spatula. Now if you decide you want to join the Tooth Fairy Brigade and help to promote the Tooth Fairy so people don't forget her, you can make your pieces however you want. They don't have to be this shape or size, they don't have to cover your eye if you prefer, and you don't have to do the little extra pieces that I'm doing here, but I just wanted to follow the Colin Christian reference picture because I thought it looked really cool basically. So anyway, once you are happy with the size and the shape of your prosthetics, you want to start putting your teeth in there. So I'm using the teeth that I made that you saw me make earlier with the polymorph plastic, but I'm also using some acrylic teeth that I ordered from Amazon. Just using a mixture of those and just sticking them in till I'm happy with the result. So again, it's up to you how many teeth you want to stick in your face. Just put in as many or as few as you like. And for extra gruesome effect, I decided to add some holes as if some of the teeth have come out. So I'm just using the end of a brush, and you just want to dip this in some latex so it doesn't stick to the latex paste. Just stick it in there and wiggle it around. So once the piece is dried, it'll probably take overnight to dry, but once it's dried and set, you want to paint the piece. Now I'm using alcohol paints, which you activate with 99% alcohol, and I'm just applying very thin washes starting with a red and a very fluffy brush. If you don't have alcohol paints, just use whatever you happen to have to hand. You can use just normal makeup, you can use cream makeup, you can use water-based face paints, whatever you happen to have is absolutely fine. You can just see see there that I was just comparing this piece to the colour of my own skin, because it will obviously be going on my face, so I want it to blend as far as possible. Once you've done the red wash, go back in with a blue wash and then add some lovely redness into those holes just to make it look extra gruesome. Also paint some red around the base of the teeth, again to make it look gruesome, because let's face it, if you had teeth coming out of your face, there'd be a little bit of blood. In order to blend those areas, I'm just going in with some alcohol on a piece of cotton wool. Obviously, if you're using water-based face paints, go in with some water. Oh, and incidentally, you might find that some of the teeth fall out, and if they do, simply stick them back in with some hot glue. Now I'm just going in with some darker shades, so a darker kind of burgundy colour, and then later on you will see me going in with some black. I'm just basically trying to create some depth around those teeth. Take your time with this paint job, don't rush it, just build up the layers very slowly, making sure you build it up in washes so it doesn't look too solid, and that's how you can make it look a little bit more realistic, or as you know, realistic as it's going to look when you've got teeth coming out of your face. I'm just hoping the Tooth Fairy likes my rendition. It might be a little bit gruesome, but you know, fingers crossed she's going to like it. Once you're happy with the paint job and it's all dried, you want to take your prosthetic pieces off the face cast. Make sure you use plenty of baby powder or flour, because latex has a nasty habit of sticking to itself. When you actually make the latex pieces, you want to ensure that you use plenty of just the plain latex around the edges so you get a nice thin edge like you can see here. That way it blends into your skin a lot better. And here I am just sticking some more teeth back in that had fallen out. Right, now we're on to the application, and you'll need a variety of brushes and sponges, and the first thing you want to do is place the piece on your face and just dab some face powder around so that you have a template for where the piece goes. Now just taking a glue stick and just blocking out that one eyebrow so it's protected under that prosthetic piece, and blocking out a little bit of the other eyebrow where that little prosthetic piece will go. And then you want to take some skin adhesive and just put that all around where that template is that you created earlier with the powder. Let that go clear and tacky, and then stick your piece down. You can also put some on the edges of the actual piece itself so it acts more like a contact adhesive. Again, make sure this goes clear and tacky before you stick the piece down. And there we go, just make sure you press those edges down nice and firm so the piece is nicely stuck to your face, and then just go in with some more glue around those edges just to make sure that all the edges are stuck down and it's blended into your face as well as possible. And then I'm just sticking on those extra little pieces, which as I said are optional. You can make your pieces however you like. Now again, this is an optional step, but I just took a 2-part silicone. You mix up equal parts of A and B, and make sure you use separate spatulas or clean the spatula very well in between, taking out the 2 parts, because you do not want to cross-contaminate one jar to another, because you will ruin the whole batch. And I just smoothed it over the edges of the piece just to hide those edges a little bit more, and then just use the sponge to texture it a little bit. Once that's dry, you want to just paint those edges so that it blends into your skin. I went in with a red wash of the alcohol paints that I used earlier. Again, use whatever you happen to have. And then I just went in with some more concentrated alcohol paint just to make it look a little bit extra gruesome. Again, you do you. If you don't want your Tooth Fairy to be as gruesome, then you don't need to add all the blood like I did. final step is simply to do just a normal makeup job on the other side of your face. Well, I say normal. I did do a nice crying eye like in the Colin Christian reference picture, but again, you do you. If you want to do a really glam makeup on the other side, then go ahead and do a really glam makeup on the other side. You know, no two tooth fairies have to look the same, do they? So I just put some foundation on and powder and concealer, and then I just went in and created a very rough smoky eye, just really blending that around my eye so it kind of looks messy as if I've been crying, because you know, the Tooth Fairy asked me to recreate this because people are forgetting her, so I figured that she's probably a bit upset. So, you know, I thought I'd turn on the waterworks for the final poster that I plan to distribute so that people feel really sorry for her and, you know, really start putting those teeth under the pillow for her. Right, so I just went in with some liquid eyeliner and then I added lots and lots of water under my eye to, you know, really smudge it out and make me look really upset. Oh, and one false eyelash too, just to finish off the look, because, you know, she's got to look a little bit pretty, hasn't she? And I also went in with a nice pink glossy lip too, just to finish the look off. So there you have it. There is the Tooth Fairy. So now all I have to do is create the poster and photocopy it and distribute it. And ta-da! Here it is. So I hope it works.
Hey, well, you did make me look a bit scary. But it worked. Parents putting teeth out again. Thank you, Tooth Fairy.
Well, there you go, Beauts. The campaign worked and the Tooth Fairy is happy, which is just brilliant. So anyway, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this, and I wish to see you next time.